Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here again. And a very warm welcome. I'm a very excited DC stroke DCEU stroke the world of DC fan right now because a source of mine has told me that Henry Cavill, aka Superman, aka maybe Clark Kent, will feature in Shazam. How reliable is this source? Sometimes she's good, sometimes she's great, sometimes she's crap. So I'm going to be upfront with you. I don't know how true this is, but I'm a glass half full guy instead of half empty guy. So let's go with this. So we did I wanted to do actually a video yesterday, but I got too busy with stuff about this kind of synopsis. I can never say that word, by the way. They've done a kind of updated synopsis, I said it again properly, great, of Shazam. And what I was reading is very exciting. And I read something else that this is really a historical piece for the DCEU, where, the stuff like Batman and Superman fighting, the Kryptonians invading Earth in Man of Steel is all there. We see newspaper clippings, newsreels of all this happening behind the scenes. Billy Baston is a massive Superman fan. So really, for me, instead of New Line Cinema being involved and saying, nah, none of that matters anymore, we're rebooting the DCEU. No, the saga continues. Because guess what, haters? Some of us actually loved Man of Steel and BVS and Suicide Squad and Wonder Woman and elements of Justice League. So it's exciting. And can I say something else about the title of Birds of Prey? Stop bitching about the title. Why did Suicide Squad make so much money? Because Harley Quinn was in it. She's a very popular character. So of course they're going to put her name in it and tell everyone it's literally about her. Of course they are. They want the world to know that Margot and Harley are going to be in this film. So why not? But going back to Shazam, for me, if it's true, it's really exciting. I think the original plan was when Walter Hamada first came in was to have Henry's Superman cameo in every DCEU film while they rethink what they're going to do with another Superman film. Now, something I've heard from my sources as well is that Henry will continue to be Superman, just like Ben Affleck will continue to be Batman. But if you remember, I did that video a couple of days ago with Jeff Johns talking to Collider and how he kind of mentioned the multiverse. I think that's a very interesting tell. I think the multiverse will be very much involved in the DCEU. And that's why they've renamed it the Worlds of DC. It's obvious what they're going to do, and this is exciting. And he said, from a fan's perspective, Jeff said, it will be great for all those characters to be in one film together. But he goes, that's just wish fulfillment for a fan. He wasn't saying they're going to do that. But I do think ultimately, maybe in 5-6 years, that is the plan. A multiverse story, how exciting would that be? Now, we've seen the multiverse featured in Arrowverse, but they're constrained by budgets, poorly developed comic book characters as well. So it's not as exciting. So we're getting Elseworlds, aren't we? Which really should be exciting. The only thing that excites me about Elseworlds, to be honest with you, is that Superman's going to be front and centre. We've actually seen the cast at the original Smallville set, the original Kent farm from Smallville. If you've seen my other videos, you know how much I love Smallville. And I'm actually re-watching it. I'm on season 1 at the moment. So lots of love for Smallville. And if you think about it, Smallville was an Elseworld show. It was very different to the comics. They went at it from a very different way. We had Lex Luthor living in the same town as a younger guy with a teenage Clark Kent. Elseworld, the ultimate Elseworld superhero story has already been done. So Arrowverse, did we really need you to do this? Are you going to do it justice, or are you going to virtual signal with Batgirl? I know I'm kind of going somewhere else now, but for me, this Batgirl could end up being really annoying. We already also know that they've got some kind of excuse why Batman isn't there. They could have had a Batman in there. I hate all this, we can't have Batman in the TV shows. What's wrong with you people? Batman's so popular. Have him pop up. Anyway, I'm reaching here. So how could Superman feature in Shazam? Obviously, it's not going to be a big role. It's going to be a cameo. Now, there was a rumour that at the end of the Shazam, Clark Kent approaches Billy Baston and actually says, we've been watching you, and maybe invite him to be part of the Justice League in the future. Now, that's the rumour. Now, I want to talk about leaks. The leaks have really been zipped up since Walter Hamada has taken over. Now, it's a good thing. But all you people who do complain about DCEU leaks, some of the leaks are actually purposely done for publicity. Always remember, very few things are accidentally leaked. And the leaks that you get, they're done on purpose to see how the public respond to what they're thinking of doing. So if there's a leak and people say, then they can, people don't just go, they say words, don't they? But what I'm saying is, most of the time, whatever people hear about a superhero film, it's a negative response, isn't it? Especially with DC, for some reason. Now, let's cross our fingers and let's hope that Superman is going to be in Shazam. I think it's important for Superman. Really, Shazam's a great story and a great character, if you think. This young boy who's been, fetched and carried from foster care system to foster care system. He's then introduced to this family and he makes friends with this disabled boy. And then this young boy all of a sudden becomes this powerful guy and he doesn't know how to handle it. And it's been compared to Big. I think the only reason it's being compared to Big is because literally it's a similar story that a young boy becomes an older person and he has to deal with everything that comes with it. So if they actually do a good job, and I think David F. Sandberg is an absolute genius of a filmmaker if you've ever seen his stuff. And if you ever see his tweets, he seems a great guy, and he's in terms of me in respect value. Someone like James Wan, we are getting the best directors now, and we're getting like James Gunn to do Suicide Squad 2. I'm excited about that. I don't care about the jokes he's made. I don't. I'm a DC fan. He hasn't committed any laws. He hasn't broken any laws, right? So let's get it clear, I don't approve of the jokes he made, and I don't understand why someone would joke about something like that. But at the end of the day, I don't think you should destroy a man's career because of it, because we are now in a culture that we want to destroy people and put them behind bars because of things that they say. Saying something shouldn't be against the law. In the olden days, when people used to get offended, I saw this on another video, and I think it's a great line, so I'm going to repeat it. I think the guys, you should be following this guy, by the way, El Patron. Don't know him, not my mate, but he does some great Doctor Who videos about what's going on with Doctor Who. And he said this: in the olden days, when we were younger, if someone offended us, we just have to deal with it and brush it off our shoulders. Now, they have to come and apologise. Look at poor Sarah Michelle Gellar. She said something about underwear. I don't know what she said, and she's had to apologise. Now, I met Sarah once at a convention. She won't remember me. And she was such a lovely woman. So genuine, so kind, so appreciative to have fans and appreciate what she achieved as an actor on Buffy. So to see her going through this really does wound me, because when you see good people getting done over because of something that they said, maybe in humour or because of an opinion. Unfortunately, the internet is a reactive place, and we should be able to react to things that people say. But also, I think people should have the right and freedom to say whatever they want. Now, if you get offended by that, that's your problem, not theirs. But again, we're diverting from a very important issue here, which is Superman in Shazam. I personally think it's going to happen. I think Henry will sign his contract. I think what the thing is, what's holding Henry's contract up, and I've said it on previous, I can't find my words, right. I've said it on previous videos about this. I don't think it's money that's holding this up. I think they'd give him pretty much whatever he wanted. I just think he wants to make sure that Man of Steel 2 is a direct sequel from Man of Steel, and they're not trying to forget those events, because it was a mixed response, and maybe they're worried because they could listen. It's obvious they want to now do an optimistic Superman, one from the comics, right? And I suppose it depends if you're Silver Age or Golden Age, but at the end of the day, they want him to be optimistic. They want him maybe to crack a few jokes and smile now and again. And lots of people, we do want Superman to evolve in this universe. So I think Henry is Superman for a lot of people. And I think it's like that guy on the Collider interview said to Jeff Johns, you know, I want to see another. It's what we're all desperate for. No one wants Superman rested so they could do Supergirl. I love Supergirl. I loved that first film with Helen Slater. I know a lot of people don't, but I adored that film. I looked up to her. I fell in love with Helen Slater as Kara. I thought that was a brilliant film. I want to see Supergirl films. I want her to be part of the Justice League, just like the Justice League Unlimited series. But also, Superman can't be rested. Superman is the biggest. Let me give you something I said to someone, I quote tweeted someone today. They were talking in that scene about that scene in BVS, right, when Superman's pulling the ship in the Arctic and they're talking about him, right? I don't know about you, but when Junkie's music's playing, I start to cry. That's my hero they're talking about. He's saving people and they're asking a question. Should there be a Superman? Yes, damn it, there should be a Superman. There should always be a Superman because Superman's the best. He's not boring. He's not boring because he's nice and he's pure-hearted and he was brought up in a Midwestern community and he was given, morals and stuff. That's not boring. You do Superman right. He can be amazing. He can have personality and he can be the most popular superhero out there. But you've got to have it in your soul to want to create an epic and awesome Superman. So you need someone to make the film who loves Superman, who understands Superman. That is very important. So you need to get the writers and the directors, and I've always said this, you can get someone from DC who actually writes the comics to write the screenplay. I think Jeff Johns would be perfect, but there's other people, and I forgot the guy's name actually. He's a very older comic book writer, but there's been rumours of maybe him writing A Man of Steel 2 as well. What's his name? I can't remember his name, but basically Superman is so important, and we might not see a Superman by the time they finish a Superman film, by the time they finish developing it. Maybe for 2 or 3 years, maybe 5 years. So I think it's important that he does cameo in all the DC films. I'd love to see him in Birds of Prey. I know that's unlikely. I'd like to see him in the Batman. But I don't just think that we're going to get Henry's Superman. We're going to get a multiverse Superman as well. So I think the rumours from the guy who plays Creed actually being Superman, I think weren't far off the mark. Probably that's going to happen, but he's going to be a multiverse Superman. And we know there is a multiverse Black Superman in the comics, which is fine. As long as he doesn't take the place of the main Superman, I don't care. That could be fun. The multiverse is a fabulous thing that DC have got, and it's hugely important. And it's hugely important that we do see Superman in Shazam. If you like the video, please like it, share the video, share the channel, comment down below. I want to know what you think about the channel. Yes, it's this again. Got to hold this so I can keep that on. It goes dark. But basically, let me know what you think. Are you excited that it could happen? Superman could be in Shazam. Because I tell you what, this fan is.